we delve deeply into Albert Einstein's nuanced spiritual perspective, which blends his profound respect for science with an equally profound reverence for certain aspects of spirituality. Einstein, often described as a deeply religious non-believer, held Buddhism in exceptionally high regard, appreciating it as a universal religion that transcends the conventional concept of a personal God. He valued Buddhism for its ability to avoid dogma and theology, embracing both the natural and spiritual worlds without conflict. For Einstein, Buddhism was not just a religion but a philosophy of life that provided a flexible, adaptable mindset, particularly valuable in a world increasingly dominated by science and technology. He admired Buddhism's emphasis on observation, wisdom, and genuine reasoning, which he believed aligned perfectly with the scientific spirit. Einstein appreciated how Buddhism encouraged personal experience and the empirical verification of truth, principles that are central to the scientific method. Moreover, Einstein saw a remarkable parallel between his own approach to scientific inquiry and the Buddha's approach to spiritual enlightenment. Both figures approached their respective fields with a spirit of investigation and skepticism, never accepting knowledge blindly. The Buddha's insistence that knowledge should be subjected to scrutiny and personal verification resonated deeply with Einstein's own scientific principles. In addition to these intellectual affinities, Einstein also emphasized the importance of ethics and integrity in human conduct. He believed that morality should be based on rational thought and humanistic values rather than fear of divine punishment or expectation of divine reward. Despite his denial of a personal God, Einstein was endlessly fascinated by the intricate beauty and methodical nature of the universe. He found a sense of awe and wonder in the orderly complexity of the cosmos, which he felt was a testament to a higher order or principle, if not a deity in the traditional sense. Einstein's unique perspective on spirituality, therefore, represents a harmonious blend of scientific rigor and philosophical depth, with Buddhism providing a framework that seamlessly integrates these two realms. This section of the sheds light on how Einstein's views on Buddhism and spirituality not only influenced his approach to science but also enriched his understanding of the broader questions of existence and human purpose. Einstein's belief in God and nature. Albert Einstein's belief in God can be deeply explored through his profound admiration for the intricate structure of the natural world. He identified strongly with Baruch Spinoza's conception of God, which he perceived as synonymous with nature itself. Spinoza's God was not a personal deity but rather an embodiment of the order and harmony of the universe. This philosophical view finds a significant parallel in Buddhist teachings, especially in the concepts of the five niyamas and the middle way. The five niyamas, which are natural laws governing the physical and mental universe, emphasize the interdependent and interconnected nature of all phenomena. The middle way, a fundamental principle in Buddhism, advocates for a balanced approach to understanding the world, avoiding extremes, and promoting compassion and insight beyond the confines of the individual self. Einstein's perspective on physical concepts as creations of the human mind underscores a critical aspect of both scientific and philosophical inquiry. He posited that our understanding of the universe is not a direct apprehension of an objective reality but is shaped by our perceptual frameworks and interpretative lenses. This idea resonates deeply with Buddhist philosophy, which asserts that our perception of reality is constructed by our mental processes and conditioning. The Buddha taught that our comprehension of the world is a product of our cognitive faculties, influenced by observation, reasoning, and creative interpretation. Furthermore, Einstein's reflections on the nature of reality align with the Buddhist notion of dependent origination, which explains that all phenomena arise in dependence upon multiple conditions and causes. This interdependence implies that nothing exists in isolation, reinforcing the idea that our understanding is inherently relational and constructed. Both Einstein and the Buddha emphasized that recognizing this interconnectedness leads to a deeper appreciation of the universe and fosters a sense of humility and wonder. In essence, Einstein's reverence for the natural world and his philosophical alignment with Spinoza's God illustrate a scientific spirituality that parallels Buddhist teachings. Both perspectives encourage a view of the universe that transcends individual ego and promotes a holistic understanding of existence, characterized by interconnection, compassion, and continuous inquiry into the nature of reality. Scientific flexibility in Buddhist wisdom. Albert Einstein emphasized the inherent flexibility and boundless creativity that lie at the heart of scientific exploration. He believed that science thrives on the constant questioning and challenging of established knowledge, understanding that scientific truths are not absolute but are instead evolving concepts that can be revised and refined over time. This perspective highlights the dynamic nature of scientific inquiry, where creativity and imagination play crucial roles in uncovering the mysteries of the universe. Similarly, the Buddha viewed consciousness as an illusion and the concept of the self as merely an emotional construct. He taught that what we perceive as the self is actually a collection of transient emotions and thoughts, which do not constitute a permanent or independent identity. This understanding aligns with his broader teachings on the nature of reality, where attachment and ignorance are seen as the primary obstacles to human liberation. The Buddha advocated for the development and purification of the mind through practices such as compassion and the Noble Eightfold Path, which includes right understanding, right intent, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Einstein's reverence for the mysteries of the universe led him to describe a profound sense of religiosity that transcends traditional beliefs. He saw true religiosity as an acceptance and deeper understanding of the universe's complexities, an attitude that parallels the Buddhist emphasis on experiential wisdom and inner transformation. Both Einstein's and the Buddha's philosophies encourage addressing the fundamental issue of human suffering. They suggest that rather than getting entangled in abstract metaphysical questions, one should focus on practical and experiential paths that lead to a more profound understanding and alleviation of suffering, by emphasizing the impermanence of knowledge and the necessity for continual inquiry and introspection. Both Einstein and the Buddha highlight the importance of an open mind and a compassionate heart in the pursuit of truth and liberation. Their teachings suggest that true wisdom arises from a humble recognition of the limits of our understanding and a relentless quest for deeper insights into the nature of existence and consciousness. Focus on immediate problems and practical wisdom. In this exploration, we delve deeply into the profound and intersecting teachings of Einstein and the Buddha, focusing on the concept of liberation from unnecessary constraints and the prioritization of addressing immediate issues, particularly human suffering, over the philosophical inquiry into the origins of the universe. This approach is illustrated through the Buddha's parable of the poisoned arrow, a powerful metaphor emphasizing the urgency of solving immediate problems before engaging in abstract speculations. In this parable, a man wounded by a poisoned arrow insists on knowing who shot him, the arrow's composition, and other irrelevant details before allowing the poison to be removed. The Buddha uses this story to teach that addressing suffering and immediate concerns should take precedence over metaphysical questions. We also explore Bertrand Russell's acceptance of the Buddhist perspective on the origins of the world. Russell, a prominent philosopher and logician, recognized the practicality and wisdom in the Buddhist approach, which prioritizes the alleviation of suffering over speculative metaphysics. This alignment with Buddhist thought underscores the pragmatic aspect of Western philosophy when it comes to addressing real-world problems. Additionally, we examine the growing interest in Buddhist meditation practices within Western medicine and psychology. Over recent decades, there has been a significant increase in the incorporation of mindfulness and meditation techniques into therapeutic practices. These techniques, rooted in Buddhist traditions, have been scientifically validated for their efficacy in reducing stress, anxiety, and depression, promoting overall mental well-being. The integration of these practices highlights a convergence between Eastern philosophical teachings and Western scientific approaches to mental health, demonstrating the universal relevance and applicability of Buddhist principles in contemporary society. Through this detailed analysis, we aim to highlight the practical wisdom in both Einstein's and the Buddha's teachings, emphasizing the importance of addressing immediate human needs and suffering, while also acknowledging the broader philosophical and scientific implications of these teachings in modern contexts.